Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is KPZ. You're here on the home of the slightly above average ship review. I apologize for the delay. As you can see, we're on Riposte, and we are top tier in the legendary tier, Pan-European destroyer Holland. Not to be confused with the country where they have wooden shoes and windmills. All right, so the Holland is what I would call an enforcer style gunboat. What I mean by that is you've got really low damage torpedoes, you've got a fast firing main battery. That being said, there are ships that can out DPM you. You have great AA. Unfortunately, whenever I'm in a ship with great AA, I rarely get a carrier match. Although this morning, before I recorded this video, I was desperately trying to get a good game in the Kurasame, and I got a game where the enemy carrier chased me around the map the entire match. I ended up shooting down 19 airplanes, but when I bring out the Holland, I can't get an aircraft carrier to save my life. All right, so we're moving out here, going to go into the Bravo Cap, perhaps. So a big thing in this ship, kill the enemy destroyers when you see them. Obviously, you're going to use that DFAA charge if you're being directly targeted by a carrier. In a match like this, it would be to kill maybe a battleship spotting plane if you're getting close, and you think it's going to spoil your torpedoes or something like that. You got some heals. You do not have a smokescreen. So really playing this ship is going to prepare you for all those matches that you're in a destroyer with a smokescreen, and there are lots of radar cruisers out there. That's the other thing. I was getting radared so much when I was playing this morning. It was insane. So I've got to say, I almost made a video of one of these matches where I was literally running away the entire match from radar, saying, yeah, I can understand why some people are playing from the rear now, because the radar was out of control. Speaking of out of control, this Chung Mu thinks he can gunboat me. You cannot gunboat a legendary tier Holland, sir. There is the first blood, kill number one. Now, we did take over half our health and damage. That being said, and I already used one heal. But that being said, I think we can get back to around 10,000 hit points, which is still okay. Maybe enough to survive one of my own torpedoes. So we're just going to hang out and capture Bravo. While we do that, and scope out some other ships to shoot at, I'm going to flip over to Wikipedia, blah, blah, blah. The Holland-class destroyers were two ships built for the Swedish Navy in the 1950s. 4 were planned, but the second 2 ships were canceled. 2 modified ships were exported to the Colombian Navy. So, preceded by the Öland class, succeeded by the Östergötland class. Holland and Småland were commissioned. Lapland and Värmland were canceled. And the Colombian Navy got De Agosto and De Julio, both of which are now scrapped. The Holland is scrapped. The Småland is a museum ship in Gothenburg, if Wikipedia is telling the truth. Really quickly over to wiki.wargaming.net. Max dispersion 93 meters on the main battery. AP shell weight 23.5 kilos. Or sorry, HE shell weight, 23.5 kilos. AP shell weight, 23.5 kilos. Shell velocity also identical, 825 meters per second. Damage record, which will come nowhere close to, 326,757 on Wiles builds. XP record, 4,011. Yikes. All right, in the open water, we took a lot of damage. But we're transversing here. I had to get some torpedoes out on the Ohio. This is when everybody was playing the Ohio. We do get some torpedo strikes. We spotted an extra ship. And most importantly, we are now capturing Alpha. And all our heals are gone. And we have about 6,000. All right, maybe it's 4,000. Damn these eyes. 4,823 hit points left. So not a lot of hit points. But yeah, you know me. Hit points don't matter. As long as I'm still alive, we got a chance. Scoping out the enemy here. Not really seeing anything I can launch at. Really, I would consider your torpedoes to be something to best be used by either A, finishing off a already wounded ship. It will take 2 of your torpedoes to kill most destroyers that you're going to see. So keep that in mind. Just one won't do. So really, this is more like death by 1,000 cuts, like most of the other ships in this line that have low damage torpedoes. And when I say this line, I know it's a legendary ship, but I'm saying most of the tech tree ships in Pan-Europe don't have strong torpedoes. So you've got to chip away at the enemy, and hopefully they flood out. Prescient move by me behind the island. We are radared up. Man, it just happens so much these days. And if you don't, and I've just found that if you don't have good teammates supporting you, you're dead. Earlier today, I was having a great match in the Kirasame, and I had a cruiser with me, not platooned up or anything, and then all of a sudden, he just stopped following me around the map, and I got ambushed by 2 enemy destroyers and killed. And I think if he'd been up there with me, that wouldn't have happened, but anyway, neither here nor there. All right, while we're hanging out, let me go see if I can get you a peer comparison here for the Halland. But I've got to do some selecting. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. And we're going to do that. All right, so while I'm launching torpedoes here at the Montana, and I think a quick look at the teams. We're tied in kills. We have a big lead in points because somebody captured Alpha and Bravo. All right, while those torpedoes in the water, we are transversing the map. I'm going to ignore it if they hit because I'm going to my other screen. Stat comparison of the legendary tier destroyers. As of right now, there are 6 hit points. Number 1, Khabarovsk, 22,500. Halland toward the bottom, 19,200. Max speed, the best is Kleber at 44 knots. The worst is Halland, 35 knots, along with daring. HE DPM, number 1 is Gearing, 240,000. And Halland is third, 210,000. Torpedo damage, number 1, Shimakaze, 21,367. Last is the Halland, 10,700. Max AA damage per second. Halland is number 1, 329 damage per second. The Shima is last with 72. All right, look, nothing happened since I moved away from the video screen. So my torpedoes didn't hit anything. Nothing significant occurred except some more of the enemy team died. All right, sizing up Yamato. 2 Yamatos. I know I can't get a double strike. We will launch 1 set of torpedoes at the far Yamato. And then here I think I'm going to turn and just kind of go into slow down mode and wait for the second Yamato and wait for my reload to see what happens. And this is the kind of ship, while we're talking about it, that I think as the game goes on becomes stronger and stronger with the codicil that you can't be in a scenario where you're going to need to dev strike ships with torpedoes. If the ships are really wounded and you, like this Yamato over here, 1 torpedo strike or 1 full torpedo strike should finish them off. A full health ship, yeah, you're going to have a lot harder time taking out a fully healthy enemy towards the end of the game. But because you're a gunboat with great AA, you can handle a carrier who's late in the match. You can handle destroyers who are late in the match. You can finish off really wounded battleships with these torpedoes. We put some torpedoes out. We are getting flooding on one Yamato. There is our second kill. Second set of torpedoes missed Yamato number 2. And as you can see, he is fully healthy. And even if all of our torpedoes hit, he probably would still be alive. So that's what I mean when I've been talking about this. Your torpedoes have a very limited punching power. And remember, the number I gave you, 10,700, that is the max damage. So you may not get the max damage due to torpedo damage reduction. So we're launching more torpedoes at Yamato. And we're backing up. And we've got another ship out here, a Brisbane. Very badly damaged. I have to say I'm not very impressed with the Brisbane. I do have it. I've tried to get a video for you. I just don't think the right commander for the Brisbane is in the game yet. And of course, I'm still working on that Kirasame torpedo hull video. I just haven't been able to get the great match to show you what that can do either. All right, Brisbane, Yamato. I think I end up shooting at the Brisbane here when I get my torpedo reload, because the Yamato is backing behind the island, and he's being engaged by that other destroyer. So because I don't have a smoke screen, I have to be a little more judicious about how I'm going to engage. So I didn't even remember aiming those. So I just launched some torpedoes into the gap, aiming for Montana, and hopefully that's going to work out. And I'm just trying to stay concealed. I think the Brisbane just got taken out, which is why I'm cheering and applauding. And torpedoes moving in on Montana. He should have seen these, other than when they just hit him there. So we get 2 torpedo strikes on Montana. And looks like the rest of them are going to miss. We have another torpedo reload. We're going to shoot for Yamato here after moving forward, making sure we don't hit the island. Anyway, time runs out. So I guess we're not going to get that to happen. All right, here we are on the victory screen. I believe that is the first blood medal, along with 110,276 total damage. We had 3 assisted base caps and 2 big kills and 9 torpedo strikes and some cap defendant flags. We ended up with 328,874 silver, over 6,300 ship XP, over 6,700 commander XP. Here we are at the top of the board. 1 medal, 2 big kills, 2768 base XP for a GG in the Halland. Also, I want to say, look, I had a lot of help here. Yamato, Alaska, other Yamato Z44, all over 2,000 base XP. So it's a little bit of relief sometimes when you have good teammates. And those 2 ships left alive on the red team didn't really do anything. So I think they were trying not to engage in battle. All right, modifications: AA guns mod 2, propulsion mod 2, concealment system mod 1, and of course, main battery mod 3. Taking a look at the loadout: 2 charges of the engine boost, 2 charges of the repair party, and 2 charges of DFAA, which we didn't need this match. We were running the rare battle booster for movement speed and cooldown time of the consumables. We've got the standard permanent camo and the Peace Day 22 flag. 22,800 hit points with our build. Got those 2 twin 120mm turrets, 11km firing range, 1.7 second reload, 7.7 second turn time, HE shells 1750 max damage, 8% fire chance, AP shells 2100 max damage. Although I would imagine you probably aren't going to use AP a lot unless it's against superstructure 2 quintuple tube launchers, reload every 100 seconds. Max damage, as stated, 10,700. 15-kilometer range at 86 knots. They're very fast. Detectability is 1,800 meters. So that is your trade-off. They are very visible in the water. AA defense, your main battery is dual purpose and is your longest reaching AA out to 6.2 kilometers. Your best AA, no surprise, 40 millimeter Bofors, 157 damage per second. So a very strong AA platform as a destroyer here. Moving on to maneuverability, here's the bad part. Just 36 knots with a speed boost flag, 660 meter turning circle, and abysmal 4.7 second rudder shift time. Concealment 5.2 in the surface, 3 kilometers from the air, 2.5 when firing in smoke. Going back to the maneuverability, I wouldn't blame you if you swapped out propulsion mod for steering gears. That might be worth it. Take a look at the stats. A 1.0 kill death ratio. Most kills in game 3. This was our best damage game and best XP game. And good winning percentage, but the main battery I have found is not very accurate, as evidenced by the stats. Nothing special in the armor viewer. Here is our commander, fully maxed Jersey Swirsky. I had to pay for Jersey Swirsky, children. That's how long ago I got this commander. Base trait hide and seek reduces your detectability. That's been nerfed. And we've got Eric Bay and William Sims for hit points and more concealment over there. Row 1, Observant Rage. Row 2, Look at Me Now. Row 3, Twist and Track. You really don't need Twist and Track. I would run Perceptive, but I was running Swirsky and another destroyer with Twist and Track, and that's why it's on there. Smoke on the water again. This ship, you don't have any smoke screens, so I don't know why I wouldn't have cloudy days. And Unstoppable. Anyway, I guess if I had prepared my commander better, we might have had a better game. But that is the Halland. Like, comment, subscribe down below. Still working on those other videos. Honest, I'm not playing Anno 1800 all the time, just most of the time. See you next time, folks.